Good day to you. We welcome you to the realms of light, where the vast majority of who you are also exists. We welcome you to these realms of light, from where your physical lives, your physical personalities, and your entire physical world also springs. We are most pleased for this wonderful gathering of souls and beings of light. For not only are you gathering in your physical forms, you are also gathering in many different levels and layers of consciousness. While that might not be readily apparent to you in this particular focal point in time and space, you may, as you relax your mind throughout the days and in the coming nights, experience some memory traces of greater senses of organization within this particular group. For you are connected and interconnected in many, many multi-dimensional ways. There are many strands of consciousness going in between many different parallel versions of each and every one of you. And you create a sphere of light, of consciousness, a kind of quantum network of hyperdimensional awareness flowing to and fro, back and forth, forwards and backwards in time, sideways in time, and expanding multidimensionally. A great crystalline sphere of light you are, as this incredible group that is, from your point of reference, just emerging into awareness, getting to know each other. You're going through all the physical reality experiences of unfolding over a time-space arc of everyone's getting familiar with each other, you're getting to know each other. But behind that lies a very, very deep connection, ancient connection. We know that some of you feel this ancient connection that you help each other to remember. For many of you have chosen the journey of forgetting. In fact, all of you have chosen the journey of forgetting in this life to varying degrees. And we celebrate you, we hold you in great reverence. For it is a challenging journey to forget who you are, so that on the other hand you can remember who you are from a highly unique vantage point. That's that you are going from this state of forgetfulness, this chosen sense of amnesia, this sense of loss of connection to the whole, to the source. And you are remembering moment by moment as a beautiful lotus unfolds petal by petal, moment by moment. You remember a little bit more of who you are and more of who you are. And you are here for that journey of awakening, that great lotus blooming. Petal by petal, you reveal more of yourselves to yourselves. In this grand awakening, this grand orchestration. Now, this is your individual life paths. And yet, as a group, to come back to the group consciousness, you each remind each other of something very ancient, very deep, very much seemingly buried underneath layers of consciousness, underneath layers of amnesia. You each remind each other. So you might not always remember the light within yourselves, but when you come together in these kinds of groups and these kinds of orchestrations, you reflect to one another the light, you remind each other. Thusly are we here to remind you of the great light beings that you are. You are powerful co-creators, experiencing the journey of forgetting that you are that and remembering. And it is a wonderful journey indeed. Yet we do know that in the density of the amnesia of your particular dimensional world, it can feel quite challenging at times. Therefore, these groups in this age are highly, highly important, so that you come alongside one another, and as one within the group forgets, the others radiating their light help to provide more opportunity, more choice for any one member who is drifting into amnesia to remember who they truly are. You're providing a great service for one another, as is often said on your world. The whole is much, much greater than the sum of the parts. And you are slowly revealing this great crystalline sphere to one another, that you are a part of this much larger matrix of consciousness. And you are not only a point of light within that matrix, you are also the matrix itself. And we don't mean to use the word matrix in a negative connotation at all. We are just playing with the idea of a concept of the matrix of light, of which you are a part and also of which you are the whole. There are many paradoxes in the spiritual dimensions. Or shall we say, there are many paradoxes as you attempt to expand into the spiritual dimensions from the perspective of your physically focused self. For in these dimensions we see it all as one, as part of the great oneness, even while as individuated beings you see portions of the whole, and you experience yourself as a portion within portions within portions, as you move into fragmentation and segregation and separation, and you move deeper and deeper into density. So that is our message for today, to truly appreciate this wonderful group that has come together to co-create. You can do much by simply allowing these forums to exist within which each and every one of you can express and explore your unique gifts in a very supportive environment. And we would like to say specifically to Ray, who is putting a lot of joy and excitement and passion, that you are indeed part of this whole channeling experience. You are channeling, you are facilitating the communication and the establishment of these vibrational frequencies upon your planet, and your role is very, very important within the group. Now, of course, you might explore your own channeling abilities, but you are already providing an immense, immense service by being a kind of facilitator that brings people together. And then as you come together, all of you together, you hold this vibrational frequency, the sphere of light, and you emanate that light into your world, even while it might seem like you are simply experiencing it amongst yourselves. When you amplify this energy thusly and exponentially, ripples and vibrations move out in all directions across time and space and beyond time and space, for you all are eternally present in this here and now. And thusly all of creation feels and relishes the beauty and the harmony that you co-create as individuals, as a group consciousness. You are affecting your world in quite tangible terms. You are affecting the weather patterns. You are affecting the collective consciousness. You are affecting the vibrational frequencies that are available to others who are on this journey with you. For as you run into others in your world, this energy rubs off on them, and it rubs off on the next one, and like ripples in a pond, it goes into infinite universes. For you are infinite. And this is all a great play of consciousness. Likewise, therefore, we appreciate each and every one of you. And as we appreciate you, do we ask that you appreciate yourselves. Appreciate yourselves not just for who you are becoming on this journey of awakening, but for who you are now. Appreciate your contribution. Appreciate who you are. Appreciate the resonance that you bring. For each and every one of you is valuable. You are valuable because you exist. Your existence is its own value. And yes, of course, you will experience the arc of transformation from forgetfulness to remembrance, from darkness to light, from segregation and separation to unification and holistic consciousness. Of course you are on that journey, but appreciate each and every step on the journey. Appreciate the being that you are now. For in doing so, do you step further in vibration into more of yourself. Denigrate yourself, and then do you separate yourself from yourself and you fragment further into forgetfulness. So embrace all parts of yourself. Those tender parts, the parts that sometimes feel hurt, the parts that feel unheard. Embrace all of yourself, for that is the frequency of integration. Integrate rather than separate. You are in a pivotal time indeed. For now will more and more of you awaken into your gifts, into your light. And these harmonics will reverberate, and these frequencies will be ever more available to the mass consciousness, the collective consciousness. Now we will speak to a question that was uttered earlier. Because you do share your world with your fellow beings, understand that there are many intersections of parallel realities and many different intentions and many different reasons why a soul might incarnate into your world of density and forgetfulness and time and space. While some of you are on this journey of awakening, there are others who are on a journey of experiencing a life rather devoid of a certain kind of connection. Perhaps they are compensating for too much focus in other existences by becoming solidly physicalized and seemingly cut off from other dimensions in this life. And this is but one example. Thusly, radiate your gifts, radiate your light, celebrate who you are, come together with those of like mind. By all means, lend a helping hand to those who ask and who are willing and ready for their own transformation, but do not try to save the planet, do not try to save others, in the sense that let everybody have their own path. Do not insist that they must awaken. Allow them to awaken on their own terms. You radiate your light, you share your gifts, but perhaps they are not your audience, or perhaps it's not their timing. You cannot force awakening on anybody. So let everyone have their own journey, let everyone have their own path, give everyone the freedom that you wish them to give you in expressing your gifts and your life. Then allow others to express themselves. You don't have to change everybody. And don't feel obligated to do so. Don't feel obligated to need to rescue others. But your responsibility is to be yourself. That is your responsibility to others, to be yourself, to be the unique you that you came here to be. That is the best service you can offer and the highest vibration you can offer for the upliftment of the entire world. Thusly be that. That is your service. And people will come, people will go. Breath in, breath out. It will unfold. You will be exactly where you need to be, serving exactly the people who need to hear your message, or perhaps just the smile that you give can change a life profoundly. However, it is their choice. What they do with that energy is up to them. It is none of your business what they do with the gifts that you offer. They have their own free will, and you must respect that, even as you wish them to respect yours and your choices. And hearing that perhaps will help some of you to relax into your own truth, into your power, into your strength, without needing to force or push anything. For that is the way of the third density, and you are now very much moving into fourth density, where everything is much more fluid and flexible and malleable, and it'll appear as if you are moving through your physical life in a way that feels like you're moving through a dream. You will see physical objects in your life. You will see that they are symbols. Much like you could interpret dream symbols, so too can you interpret your life in symbolic terms, as if you are interpreting a dream, for your physical lives are becoming more dreamlike. You have all probably noticed that when you are in this high vibrational frequency, things have a way of unfolding in magical and miraculous ways, and magic and miracles are the order of the universe. That is the way things are. It is highly unique that you have created such a world that you feel so separate from magic, so separate from miracles, for that is what the universe is. It is pure magic. It is a miracle, even as you are a miracle, even as you are magic. So feel that ancient magic within your own beings. Feel it, for that is who you are. You are made of the stuff of stars. You are starlight beings. You are beings of light. You are pure magic. You are miraculous. Your existence is pure joy, ecstasy, and beingness. And you are moving into that. The more you share your joy, the more you share your passion, the more you get a glimpse of that frequency. So radiate that joy, radiate that bliss by acting on those passions that move you. And allow it to be without the pushing, without the forcing, without the insisting. Just let it unfold. When you sound at that unique frequency that you are, that unique harmonic, that unique note, that vibration will create a mandala of manifestation around you that will reflect that frequency. You will find that you do so much through being. And all your actions will be infused with this magical quality of being. And this is how you transform your world. By being who you are. For you are transformation itself. Allow yourself to transform, then do you allow others to transform, and you allow your world to transform. There is a scientific discipline, shall we say, for lack of better words, on your world, whereby either using sand or using water, different frequencies are played, and the water or the sand assumes different shapes, different mandala patterns. You can investigate this if you are not familiar with it. But understand that the water or the sand moves into its unique mandala form based on the frequency. Thusly, you as the center of that mandala, you in the center of your own world that you are creating, when you sound that unique frequency of who you truly are, so does your environment reflect that. Everything begins to shift and change based on the frequency that you choose. So choose wisely. And if you find yourself in negative states, embrace yourself, embrace those parts. There are those among you who are exquisitely skilled in helping individuals navigate through the different parts and portions of the personality in order to create harmony and balance within the internal system. And then when the internal system harmonizes, so do you harmonize with others in your world. As within, so without. Now, we understand that being in a time-space reality matrix, we will allow this to be the transmission for today, for we have much more to say, and we look forward to, in your time-space reality, co-creating more magic and more miracles. However, we will ask if there are any questions in the audience.
Yes, thank you. And thank you for that beautiful message and the reminder that it's okay for miracles to be our norm. That was great, perfect timing. So my question is around timelines. As you can read or sense the energy, when is the likely time for first open contact to occur?
Well, first of all, we will tell you something that you probably already know. Contact has been happening for millennia. And the most important aspect of contact is making contact with more of yourselves. Therefore, communicating with those aspects of yourselves that are having parallel existences in other civilizations is what opens the door towards physicalized, externalized contact in your world. We will say that contact is imminent as we sense the energy in this moment. The number 5 comes to us. About 5 years or so. Now, of course, you know timelines are fluid and flexible and shifting and changing. But you are, as a civilization, moving into that point where some level of contact will be made. Now, it also depends what you define as open contact. We will define it as the pure and full acknowledgement that you are being visited, that there are, in fact, what you would call ships or vehicles of non-human origin, the acknowledgement, and that's the open part of contact. Now, many of you will be making more and more contact in your dream states and in your meditation states, and more of you will be bridging the gap in non-physical terms, in telepathic ways, and these communication bands will increase, particularly over the next 5 years, and there will come a time after that 5-year period where not only will it be acknowledged that there are ships and craft, but at some point, and we will not disclose this at this time, it is not for us, you will make physicalized contact. And that could be a little further down the line. So take it in stages. First of all, come back to the idea that contact is about contacting more of yourselves. And so contact those aspects that are within you, that are, shall we say, alien or exist in other civilizations. For that will then begin to allow it to crystallize into your physical reality. Does that make sense?
Yes, it absolutely does make sense. But when you said the number 5 is coming to you, I was thinking more 2025 or 5 weeks or 5 months, but we'll see how it plays out. Thank you.
It is already being revealed that craft are visiting your world, but there is much cross current. There are still factions within your organizational societal structure that wish to deny, that are resisting the acknowledgement of these things. So give it about 5 years to kind of percolate through your different factions of your civilization to fully come to the understanding that it is time to finally say it is what it is. Now, within that 5-year period, you might, of course, have an event that will become undeniable, that you are being visited. but much is still fluid and flexible. However, craft may become more, shall we say, observable, not just as blips of light or not just as fuzzy videos, but more and more concrete. So it will crystallize. The videos become more and more clear. So you see, right now the videos are very fuzzy because it's still on the edges of your physical crystallization as a collective consciousness, while of course there are individuals who have had physical contact, but as a collective consciousness, as you crystallize more of this into your reality, or you shift into the vibration whereby it becomes more physically obvious to you, so too will the videos that people capture become more clear, so too will the craft no longer be blips of light, but rather more tangible, observable phenomena. And as more and more of this becomes obvious, so too will the necessity to acknowledge it in a societal level become undeniable, unavoidable. The age of avoidance is over. It is time to acknowledge the fullness of your realities that you experience, be it the fullness of your totality of your personality structures and parts, or be they the parts of vaster networks of intergalactic civilizations of which you are recognizing that you are a part. The parts are coming together. So we hope that helps.
It does. Thank you.
So my question is regarding our DNA. I've read at different places that our DNA has been played with and basically been dumbed down to 2 strands instead of 12. And I'm curious about what is your perspective on the human DNA right now, and how can we go about to get back into our full potential genetically?
When you translate the energy of joy, passion, creativity through your physical form by taking action upon it, so too do you raise your frequency, and your physical body is uplifted and upgraded. It is that simple. Now, it's true that your DNA vibrates, and your DNA is a kind of physical matrix that allows for the grounding of extra-dimensional energies that you are into a tangible physical form. And as the DNA vibrates in different, or shall we say more integrative, higher frequencies, aspects of the DNA are activated that allow the physical expression of traits that previously were latent, so to speak, in the background. For much potential exists within your physical structure, yet as you have said, aspects of it are, for lack of better words, turned off. But do not consider that this was something that was done to you. For you as a soul chose a particular vehicle, a particular human physical form with particular limitations, so that through the acting and the grounding of your joy, passion, creativity, through that physical form, you could stretch and open and have that experience of moving from density to light. Thusly, it was at a higher level your choice to take upon any limitations that you experience within your physical structure, and knowing that you can trust the limitations and the challenges as the unique puzzle you set out for yourself to break through. Now on your world you have this phenomena known as escape rooms. This is an apt metaphor. For you as an individual, go into this escape room and for a set amount of time, it is up to you or you with a group of individuals to solve the puzzle so you can escape from that particular room. And you choose a particular theme. Each room might have a different theme. So you choose the particular theme and you are locked into this room and you play with the puzzle and you see if you can get out. Likewise, your physical life is like this. It is not a trap, nor a prison, nor has some kind of limitation been imposed upon you. You have imposed it on yourself because you want to see. You want to try your hand at solving the puzzle. And we will say to you the fastest path is through the grounding of your extra-dimensional consciousness, your pure energy, your pure light, through the physical form. Meditation is great, and practices are great. However, include your physical body and act on the energy, for that grounds the energy through your physical cellular structure and allows the DNA to be upgraded thusly. You must act, for that grounds the energy into your world and changes your biochemical cellular structure. You must speak the energy of your soul through the physical form. That is the great unlocking mechanism, and it is incredibly simple. We understand the challenges can be great when you have such a great amnesia as your world, but that is what you signed up for. So happy exploring and happy transformation and the solving of puzzles. Does that help?
Yes, very much. Thank you.
Hello, spirit friend.
Hello.
I want to know your point of view on bird and water.
On birds and water.
Yes, please.
Very good. Your birds, oh, we could be here for a long, long time. We will try to keep it brief. Very, very powerful symbol. The channel himself has many, as you say, totems of birds, as many of you have. So let us attempt to be brief. The sense of a perspective of the whole. Birds represent the capacity to see the entire landscape from above, to see the whole. Whereas many of you experience your physical reality parcel by parcel, space by space. The bird energy is all about seeing the entirety, all the parcels at once. Thusly, playing with bird consciousness can help elevate you to a perspective whereby different portions and facets of your own life and the collective world are seen from that perspective that includes seeing the whole rather than the individuated parts, space by space and time by time. So that is the bird energy in general. Of course, each bird will have a different feeling tone and unique symbolic meaning. And of course, each symbol is highly unique to each individual, even while you might have collective consciousness, general associations. Now, water, one of the primordial elements of your world. Water, as you know, represents very much the emotionality. It can also represent depth, infinite depth. And it can also represent a sense of oceanic consciousness. Many a poem has been written about the drop and the ocean. It can also represent the ups and the downs, the currents of life, the crest and the trough. It can represent the changing states of mind. For the ocean, the water can be very calm, and it can be a hurricane. So, keeping it brief, that will be our message. Is there anything you would like to expand upon?
That's pretty good. Thank you.
You are most welcome. And say hello to Raven and Jack for us.
I will.
We're at the top of the hour. Would you like to wrap up, or do you have some more time for us?
The space has been cleared. Appointments have shifted themselves to allow for more time. Therefore, we can take more questions.
Thank you. Christian?
Hi there. I'm very curious. Could you speak to the symbolism of both, you mentioned the bird, but specifically the hummingbird and the cetacean dolphin?
Very good. The hummingbird, a very powerful symbol, very tuned to the channeler himself, and tuned to many of you. The hummingbird can represent a kind of high frequency resonation. If you ever had a hummingbird encounter, you will feel that intense vibration. They are very magical creatures. They are almost existing in between the realm of the nature spirits and the realm of animals. They are, in a manner of speaking, almost astral. They are very much physical, but they are at this high frequency band of physicality whereby they are quasi-astral almost. It is challenging to frame this in your language, but simply said, intermediaries between the nature spirit realm and the physical realm. Thusly, when you focus on hummingbirds, they can help to pull you into that space whereby you are moving from third to fourth density, and your own life becomes a little bit more astral, a little bit less dense, a little bit less physical. In fact, you are all, unbeknownst to you, gradually shifting into an astral society. You are moving out of dense physicality towards a lesser density of physicality. This is a very gradual shift, but you are all, as a civilization, those of you who are choosing to awaken, gradually shifting. Your physical vehicles are gradually becoming ever so slightly less dense. Therefore, the hummingbird can help you to move into that higher vibrational frequency. They also represent the joy and the heart and the fire element. Joy, passion. And also the ability to very quickly move forwards, backwards, up, down, sideways. Therefore, that ability to be in that fluid state, to be able to move like water, to be able to move, to shift. Observe the hummingbird, how it can fly quickly to the side, up, down, left, right. So too can you move through physical space and time in such a manner by raising your frequency to that of the hummingbird. They are very, very magical. Does this suffice, or is there more you wish to explore?
I think that'll do for now. Thank you.
Very good. They do also add quite a bit of color to your life. Next question.
Yeah, I I was told that I had a time lapse, and during that time, the Pleiadians took me to their ship. I was wondering if you might be able to comment on that because I missed some work time yesterday and I woke up and I was bleeding and like I had fallen down or something, but I didn't have any recollection of that. Anything that you might be able to enlighten me on in regards to either one of those would be great. Thank you.
That is not our information to explore with you at this time. Thusly, you might, before going to sleep or in meditative state, ask your own guidance to reveal such information to you. You may attempt to freeform journal and allow other states of consciousness to speak through you, through your written language, to explore, for the exploration is the key. And as you ask those questions of your own higher mind, your own guidance, so too might you materialize and physicalize the individual who can help you more directly with that.
Excellent. I appreciate those little pointers. Thank you very much. Luis?
You're welcome.
Yes. Dragonflies. I have a very special relationship with them. And some remarkable things have happened with them and me. Can you expand a little bit on the attributes and qualities of the dragonfly as a spiritual being?
Very good. It appears as if we have a theme here, exploring different symbology. The dragonfly is a very ancient symbol. Very ancient. It takes you to a kind of prehistoric space when you focus upon it. Now, of course, this is our interpretation in this moment, and there are many interpretations. As we read the energy in this moment, we are sensing that link to a kind of primordial earth, a prehistoric earth. There is much color in the dragonfly. Thusly, like the hummingbird, they have a similar vibrational frequency whereby they can bring more color into your life. You see, many of you, it is as if you're living your lives in black and white. And while you might have the invention of Technicolor, you are yet to undergo that shift of consciousness whereby your physical realm will take on its own kind of astral color. And these beings, the dragonfly and the hummingbird, can lead you into seeing and rendering your physical world in full color, in living color. They guide you to that sensing of the multidimensional frequency. Your world radiates in light. This is why so many beings of the stars want to make contact not just with humanity, but with your world. Your world is very, very beautiful, very precious. However, many of you, as yet see it very much in black and white. We know some of you are awakening and appreciate nature very, very much. Thusly, will you awaken a multidimensional, colorized perspective of the beauty and the grace that your world radiates in each and every moment. The dragonfly can be a bridge to that astral color vision of your world. In physical terms, being in your physical body, seeing the grandeur of nature expressed in full living color rather than merely in black and white. So that will be our two insights about the dragonfly, the ancientness and the color.
Thank you. Very beautiful.
I had a question and then I forgot. So I guess it's because I'll be seeing you in 5. So I'll leave it at that unless the question comes back to me, but thank you.
Thank you for being
Can
here.
you touch base on the importance of connecting with nature and Gaia in our ascension and our spiritual growth, please?
Oh, it is fundamental. For you exist not as a civilization separate from your world, but as part of interpenetrating circles of light and color. Your world is a vast interdimensional matrix of vibrational frequencies and light and interpenetrating dimensions. There is so much on your world to explore that your, shall we say, for lack of better words, average human consciousness does not perceive. There is so much to explore in your world, in your backyards. You want to explore the cosmos and the universe, and yet you have so much going on right here on your precious world. So many dimensions of experience waiting for you to stumble into. Now, many of your cultures have had this connection with your precious world, the precious gem that it is within the ocean of space. You have heard stories of inner Earth, for example. It is not that there is a world within your Earth, but rather that there are many dimensions folded within your planet. Your planet is very, very rich and profound. Therefore, when you spend time in nature, you allow nature to rub off on you, as it were. You allow the magic, if you will, to remind you of the magic you have within yourself, for folded within you are many dimensions. And truly you are, if anything, exploring your own unique self, exploring all that is from your unique vantage point. Nature can help you to tune into that harmonic, that pure, natural frequency. If you wish, as a permission slip, you can play with the color green, which represents your world, and it also represents your heart. Play with that color green. Let it expand within your heart, but let it be a green that is of the vibration of earth, of nature. And feel that green within your heart, for you are nature. It is not outside of you. Your world is so precious.
Thank you very much. Patrick?
Okay, it is possible right now that your higher mind can change the circuitry of your brain and bring memory of the trip you have in the Sassani spaceship.
We are allowing the channel himself to acclimate to the vibration. Give us a moment. Such memories will be revealed in time. However, now is not the time.
Perfect, I accept that. And do you have any information about the 13 master who create this crystal skull? Where they are actually in the ship, in the galaxy somewhere?
To your first question, a stronger link to the Sassani civilization is being established and will reveal itself more and more in time. as far as the 13 masters, you have a very, very powerful connection to a particular crystal skull. While you are connected to many of them, because when you connect to one, you connect to the whole, there is one that is working with you very, very strongly. And as you know, there are the 13 crystal skulls of Earth. However, these kind of simulacrums exist in other worlds, in other civilizations. They might not have the same exact specific physical form as the ones do in your world. However, they can not only help to bridge links in consciousness amongst humanity, they of course then tapping into the grids of the other 13, shall we call them artifacts, energetic artifacts, can connect to other conglomerations of energetic realities, and thusly connect to those other civilizations. Thusly they are spread. There are artifacts in the realm of Sirius. That will become more and more accessible. And perhaps in time more information will be given on these, because the Sirius energy will be more and more available. There are some artifacts that travel and don't necessarily have, or are not necessarily stationed on a home world. But that is all that we can transmit at this time.
Thank you. Thank you.
May I go ahead with the question?
Indeed.
Thank you. So on the topic of crystal skulls, I live in Ireland on an island that has one. Is there any information you can give us on how to locate this particular crystal skull and what it does, which one it is?
To locate any such energetic artifact, you find your center frequency. We are not, it is, shall we say, not our job to reveal secrets. But Ireland is a very, very, very special place on your world. There is much of that green energy we spoke of earlier that can be connected to on that particular island in your world. To connect to the artifacts, you don't have to find the physical location. For these artifacts have a capacity to be a little bit slippery in time and space, and sometimes become non-existent and sometimes become multi-existent. In other words, they can appear in multiple places at once and sometimes appear nowhere, weaving in and out of time-space. Other times they can become very much crystallized and physical in nature, but they have other versions of themselves at other levels of consciousness. And we suggest that if you are interested in connecting, that you connect with it on that etheric level and establish that kind of contact with that particular crystal skull. And if it is your path to be led to the physical location, then you will be led there. However, do not insist on any particular outcome. Allow this to be a curious exploration of consciousness. And as you open your heart specifically into that green frequency, you may find yourself being ever drawn more deeply into the mystery and into a connection that exists in the etheric world, and you might find yourself being visited more and more tangibly by said artifact. You may also, if you wish to, explore the creation or the acquisition of a simulacrum, a physical crystal skull that will serve as a kind of simulacrum or a kind of medium through which that skull could communicate with you. Now, each skull has a different vibrational frequency, and we sense at this time that we are speaking of a skull that very much resonates with nature. And that green color and the green of your heart can help you to locate that particular frequency. And communication can be established. Do not think of it as any lesser than if you had it physically with you. For your dream symbols are becoming more and more physical as you become less and less physical as physical beings, and your world becomes more dreamlike, and you begin to interact with the non-physical, which will appear to you more physical even as you become less and less physical. And lastly, to speak of the cetacean for the earlier question, dolphins represent a very, very powerful connection to the ocean, not only the ocean of your physical world, but the oceanic consciousness within which they very joyfully play, and as such they are ambassadors of joy, connection, remembrance, and the dolphins are becoming ever more available to be channeled. Do not be surprised if you are all of a sudden beginning to notice more cetacean energy being channeled in your world. Perhaps one of you will be drawn to that. Contact is being made. You see, open contact is not contacting just beings from the stars, but beings within your own world. You will make contact almost as if you are making contact with an alien species, but they were always right here. Lastly, if you feel drawn to dolphin energy, allow yourself to explore that. Allow them to come to visit you. And extend your heart frequency to their domain. They are also powerful bridges to the extra-dimensional and multidimensional nature of your own world and of the universe, and can help you to remember that you are multidimensional beings. Even while you have a physically grounded physical frame, a focus in time and space, so too are you expanding into your multidimensional awareness, thusly becoming less and less physical, even while paradoxically you seem to become more physical, because you feel more grounded and more present in your current time and space. Your current time and space is no longer black and white, it is color. So you feel more a part of the world. You feel more tangibly, physically here, and yet paradoxically you are more energetically, becoming more energetic beings. So the cetacean nation can lead you into those higher states of consciousness. And we will save speaking of Sirius for another time. Any other questions or comments from the audience?
Thank you so much. All the answers were very, very expansive, and I learned quite a lot. And we have one more question if you have time.
Okay.
Looks like we've run the gamut. Thank you so much for your
Very good.
energy and for your interaction.
We wish to express tremendous appreciation and love for each and every one of you as individuals and the entire group collectively. Salutations to you all, and we wish you pleasant dreams. And as Seth used to like to say, we wish you a beautifully glorious and a fond good day.
Yay. Welcome back, Thomas.
Hey.
Talk about exceeding expectations. You're just wonderful, Tom.
I had no idea. I had no idea all that stuff was in there. I was literally like wanting from a physical level to get a sense of, oh, what's the session about tonight? It's like,
That's what happened. That's what happened when you don't channel for a year, Tom. It was all bottled up inside of you.
Yeah, it felt like it could keep going, and then it was like this sort of like, well, we'll just like let this be where there'll be more later, like to be continued, you know.
Well, I
Lot
could,
to unpack there.
yeah, I could feel Zile just jumping at the bit when you said, "Are there any more questions?" She's like, "Well, I only have 106 left." Yeah.
No, this
So-
was truly just, oh, just so, I mean, I was like crying and like getting, you know what I mean? It's just like coming home, you know what I mean? Especially when we're talking about nature, it was just like, man, the tears and the, you know, the nose is running and it's like, oh, I'm gonna cry, you know? It's wild stuff.
Beautiful.
I think we all really enjoyed it.
Heck yeah.
So, Tom, for you, the
Mhm.
obligatory question, what is it like channeling when you're in that state?
Oh, it's like, it's much more relaxed. I remember I used to have much more anxiety and I had a little bit going in. But it's just like, hey, we're just, you know, it's like, I think the analogy of like riding a bike, it's like, you know how to do this. Come on, man, let's go. But it felt a little bit more like it was actually just kind of rolling downhill. You know what I mean? Like there was less, it was like there was a momentum there and I could just like kind of, you know, kind of pedal a little bit in the beginning. And then it's like, there was like, you just like let it coast downhill and it just felt very smooth.
You were very smooth, yeah.
Mhm.
It felt to us
And
the same way, very smooth.
and it almost felt like trying to keep up with how much wants to come through. Me and Jean-Francois were talking earlier because he channeled earlier today, and it's like trying to. I think Bashar said it right. Trying to get Hoover Dam to go through a garden hose. It's like you feel this immensity, and it's trying to get squeezed in through this time-space focal point of your physical self, and it's like squeezing all this. It's like all this current is trying to come through and then it has to kind of come out, you know, through this funnel of consciousness into physical terms, right? So it's just, but it's not stressful or overwhelming, but it's just like I sense the immensity of like the, you know, the reservoir of energy there, and yet I'm aware that it still has to be focalized through this time-space matrix, right? If that makes any sense.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting that you're just coasting down the hill and we're all the ones that are going, wee!
There is a little bit of that, you know, that it's not quite as complex as like a surfboard kind of thing. So the bike just feels like it's just, you know how as a child when you're just coasting down a hill, it's just like, it's so easy, but so fun too.
Wonderful.